so let's talk about our favorites. If you look at our men's power rankings on clay, you go first this time.
Sure.
How have you got your top five stacked for the men?
Yeah, I first off, I have Carlos Alcaraz. And for me, that Indian Wells win, I think, was huge. In part, it can be a reflection of the way the clay courts can play. A little bit slower. He has a little more time to hit that explosive forehand, a little more time to move. And his winning percentage on clay is 80.5%. It's his best surface, I feel. He was incredible in the clay last year, save for, I mean, losing in the semifinals to Novak Djokovic in the French Open. No shame in that. He was right there. So for me, I have him number one right now. Number two is Novak Djokovic. He's the defending French Open title. Yes, this season has been rough, but I think with his experience and pedigree, you have to put him right up there. Number three, I have Yannick Sinner. And I mean, the season that he's put together, I just think there's no reason to think he can't duplicate and replicate this level of tennis on clay. He hasn't really done it before. We've seen good clay court tennis from him before. He's best on hard courts, but I think with his weapons from the back of the court, he's going to be a threat as well. And my last two, I believe I have Holger Rune in there. I feel like clay can be his best surface. We haven't seen his best tennis yet in 2024, but I think finally he's sort of solidified the coaching situation with Patrick Mouratoglou. He seems happy enough with that arrangement. Number five, Casper Ruud. I think two-time French Open finalist. He's playing a lot better in 2024. He's already made a couple finals on hard court. I think he can transition that over to clay, and he should be someone who's contending for Masters 1000s as well.
I like all your placements there. A couple of differences for me on the men's side. I went with Djokovic number one,
Yep.
maybe out of respect for what he's accomplished and the fact
Hmm.
that he's still the reigning French Open champion and how he did beat Alcaraz in that semifinal last year. So went with him first. I put Nadal down as number two. This was before his recent sort
Yeah.
of announcements where it looked like, well, we were hoping maybe we'd see him on the clay. Again, how can you not have Nadal high up there if he is going to be entered? Now it looks doubtful, but again, maybe it's a respect thing for me. Or maybe I'm just a traditionalist. I don't know. I put him up there high. Alcaraz three. I won't repeat your reasons, but my goodness, obviously on clay, he's a beast. I put Sinner at four, but I didn't feel like a confident four. I think I put him at four because of what he's done on hard court so far this year and
Okay.
how he's taken his overall game to another level. We'll see how that translates to clay. But of all these players, he has the least amount of success on the surface.
Yep.
And then I also put Holger Rune, I guess is my number five, because he's had some terrific results at already a young age on the surface. And I think that, yeah, that could really snap his season into high gear. I've got Ruud as my number six, so just a little
Okay.
bit lower. Because yeah, I mean, we've seen it from him on all sorts of surfaces, but he's had a consistent batch of clay court results the last few years.
Yeah. By the way, I do think I had Rafa six on my list, and then obviously now
That
it's
must have
just
been tough for you to put him all the way down there,
it,
eh?
it was. I mean, it was just such an unknown. I think if I had seen him play Indian Wells and see his body hold together, I would put him in the top five for sure. But yeah, now I'd be very concerned without him playing Monte Carlo. If I really think we need to see him get back in a tournament to really have a shot.